Hey y'all. So this is video number 2. And apologies if I sound winded or if I went too fast through that first video. I really just try to give you an idea, so you can see all the pages. You can slow the video down, I believe, and pause it or fast forward it to see whichever book you want to see. And I just was really trying not to make an hour video. And like I said in the last video, today's Sunday, and I actually looked at the date before I started this one. So tomorrow, Monday, March 15th at noon Eastern Standard Time is when all these items will be listed in my shop if you're interested. So this is Cowboy Eddie and this is the binder, and I'm going to go through Cowboy Eddie first. Make sure I'm in frame. And he is also 4 signatures, and it's 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so this one's a little bit different size than the golden books and little golden books. And there's 85 pages, plus you're going to get some extra goodies. And this book is from 1950. So if you can see right here, I don't know if you can see that, there's kind of a little crack. There's some wear and tear on the cover and on the back. This was a Rand McNally book, the little elf books. And you can cover this, you can cover this up if you want to. You can paint over it. There are some places where, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but these books, they put like a clear coat type of sheeting on these things, and after time they start peeling. So this one was peeling. I peeled most of it off, but there's still a couple of places I couldn't really get to. So it's a little more slick looking than normal. But I got most of that off, so it probably will be a little bit shinier than it normally was because I did that. But anyway, this is just a really cool book. I really like this one. I like the way it turned out. And most of the pages I stitched in this book, but there's a few I did not because this is a bigger book, than a little golden book. But I left those, you will get those extra pages to use the images how you want to, or the writing, or whatever you want to make with them. You can make little pockets and tucks and stuff out of them. And then the charm on this one I did a little bit different. I tried to make it look, these are, vintage buttons. This one is actually, I believe this one is actually a leather button. It actually has the little metal shank on the back. And then all of these are vintage. So I tried to make this look sort of old and more Western looking than the others. So I used some of these wooden beads that I've been waiting to use on something. It was actually a necklace that I purchased at a craft fair years ago, and they are supposedly African wood beads. They're really cool. And then there's this little horse that was part of a bracelet. It's sort of like a bead. There's like 3 holes in it. I just strung it through one. Anyway, some really cool beads on this one. And then I just tied it with the twine. I do have enough, I do have a scrappy tie, similar to this, with some of the, more farm style looking type of things on it. If you're interested in purchasing this book and you want one of those ties, let me know. I will add that in for you. But for right now, I just did the twine. And then, so this one also has a 2.5 inch spine, and there's 85 pages. And now this book is exactly like it was when I got it. So whoever's name was here, somebody already marked that out. And so that's the way they did these. They did these particular books. And then there's some stuff. I've got some things stuck back here. Sorry, I don't have all that quite together yet. You'll get extra goodies with this book as well, but this is the way they did those books. They always have the image, the images on the front and back, which is really cool. This one also, this one lays pretty flat. It's fairly, flexible. It's not as flexible. This is a little sturdier spine because I used the blue jean. And then on the inside I used some super old, this is really old ticking fabric in here. So I'll just flip through this one. And it's still similar items as to what's in the other, in the little golden books. So here's your little guy fishing. That's the little Rolodex card, not Rolodex card, little index card that I use to make those embellishments. And then pages from the book. And if you'll notice, some of these pages do extend over the cover. That does not bother me, but I want to let you know that. They're not all even. They do come out at the top and the bottom just a little bit. I tried to put, you know, that's the end of the first signature. And then this book is really cool. These pages are really nice. They're a nice texture. I love the imaging and the printing from that era. The 40s and the 50s, I think, are some of the best, really some of the best coloring and illustrations. And then the paper, the texture of the paper was just pretty awesome back then. And then I love this particular scrapbook paper as well. And I think it might be Cartabella. Yeah, because it's, you know, it's like the Cowboys and the Indians. And I hope that doesn't offend anyone. But back in the day, you know, we had those. I can remember my brother had those like cowboy curtains in his room. And they looked like that. They were that kind of blue color with the Cowboys on it. Anyway, just really happy with how this turned out as well. And then this one has the bear and the bighorn on it. More of the cowboy type scrapbook paper. Here's the little pocket with the image from the Nubbins book. And there's a ram. There's the grizzly. But yeah, I love that paper. I just think it's really cool. So as you can see, most of the pages I stitched in the front and the back of the signatures. There's some in the middle, but most of them are in the front and the back. Yeah. And then I love this paper too. It's really cool. And that's from the Preserve book. And I tried to get stuff like this is a big cheeseburger over here. The stuff that cowboys would eat, you know. Not all of it is that, but this side is like pizza. So anyway, just really super cool book. I like the way this one turned out as well. So that's that one. And as you can see, there's room to grow in there, and you're gonna get, you know, extra stuff with that one as well. And then this is the jumbo one. So this is the binder, and that I showed you where I did the quilted. I did the quilted cover, and then glued it on to here, onto the binder. And then, so I just had this one originally tied with the twine as well, but I'm gonna leave that. And then I also gave you a scrappy tie as well. So this has a lot of feed sack and quilt on here, and then some ticking. So a lot of this is super old. Anyway, so you get a big long tie on there with the twine. And then I made a charm. I did a tassel on this one, and I hope you can see. I had to move the camera up, but so there's a little cow on this one and some buttons, And then I just did, you know, a few little wood beads in here. And then the rest of it is, you know, baker's twine, and then strips of fabric, like old quilt, you know, bandana type fabric, ginghams. So that's that. And then I had made a few of these the last time I made these journals, when I made my granddaughter's book. And this one says Original Adventure. I had 2 of these left, so I thought I would add one to this tassel. So that just clips onto the book, so you can take that off. And then she's chunky, or he's chunky, but there's a lot you can take out of this. It's sort of stuffed with a lot of extra goodies. And then, yeah, and this took a while to do this cover. And then I put this little pocket on here. And it's going to fray a little bit here and there. So I put the little pocket on here. I added a little pin down here. I thought that would be cute if you wanted to add another little charm or something to it. And then I made a tag with the fabric and the milk cap and vintage ledger on the back. And my sewing machine was kind of giving me a fit, so this is sort of wonky, but it's not going anywhere. My sewing machine, I'm having a battle with my sewing machine right now. I got to fight with it for a little bit. But anyway, so then on the inside, what I did was, rather than, it was a little bit big. The cover was a little bit big, like a 1/4 inch too long over the edge. So what I did was I just cut that, I stitched where I knew I wanted it, you know, the stitching to end. And I cut that 1/4 inch piece off. And I actually used that on some tags and things. But I folded this over, okay? And then I put this fabric on the inside, okay? So I've tucked things back here. But I put this fabric on the inside. So this gives you a tuck spot here and a tuck spot here, okay? So this is just an envelope that I made out of one of the preserved book pages, which I thought was kind of cool. Just stuck that there. I made a lot of pockets and envelopes and things. And then here's an envelope made out of a children's book page. I put you some other book pages that I had in here. It was just getting too thick. And then another one of these pockets that's stuffed with extra goodies as well. And your template for the binder, okay? And then there's a little bag. There's some journaling spots, bingo cards, some flashcards, stuff like that. And then I just clipped this little guy. I love these little cards with the little fisherman, the little boy fisherman on here. And I put one of my paper clips in here. I wish I'd had enough of those made to add them to the other books, but I didn't. And I just, with making all the other embellishments, I hadn't had time. It's just taken me a while to get these done. And I'm all out of frame here. Okay. So, anyway, so that clips on there. But this flips out. And I have noticed that, you know, over time, if you keep flipping this, you know, some of this paper is not going to hold up like that. So I may go back with some Scotch tape and tape that. A lot of the pages that I've used are fine, but I noticed some of these, this one in particular is kind of doing that. So you let me know if you're interested in purchasing this journal. Let me know if you want me to leave that like that, or put you some Scotch tape or washi or something so that you can leave the flap, or are you gonna end up cutting it down anyway? Because, you know, it just depends on what you want to do with the journal. And then this was pretty cool. This page is about mushrooms and stuff. And I just made like a, so there's a little pocket here, and there's a pocket here, and there's something in there. This is some super old vintage wallpaper that I bought from, I believe it was Julie. I bought a bunch of her pieces of wallpaper. And I don't think she has a Etsy shop or site or anything. She was one of my customers that we swapped some things, and then she had a bunch of stuff she was trying to get rid of, and I bought some things from her. But I did fold this over and stitch it twice to give it more strength in the book, because if you go really bending this is fragile. I would, I would decoupage something on the back of this, or just at least maybe some clear paper to give it more strength before you really, if you want to do a lot with this, you could just tear it up and use it in different places, make pockets. Just letting you know, that's a really super old wallpaper. Some cookbook page stuff, ledger. Made a little kind of pocket here and a pocket here. This is from another little barn book, farm animal book that Chastity sent me. And on some of these, I did fold these pages over to make them fit, and then I stitched them to give them more sturdiness, more stability. And then, so this is a canning and freezing tab page, and I love this little piece of fabric. I think this came in one of Renee's kits that I bought a while back. And then there's a little Huns peanut bag and a recipe card and just a little scrap paper there that I thought was really pretty. So just took that in there. And I just love the image on the back of this, so I left that. Here's a big pocket, and I'm not gonna pull everything out of here. It's stuffed with some scraps that were left over. There's an old vintage envelope, claim check. I will show you this. I did put this little booklet, Canning Fruits and Tomatoes, in here, which I thought was kind of cool. And you could actually use this and make you another little notebook out of it. And then there's a Edith Holden book page in there. More scraps on this side, another Edith Holden. Some other goodies down in here. So if you see, this paper right here is fine. I actually have it in Peyton's book, and it's not really cracking like that other one did. It's a little bit thicker paper. This was just a little, file folder that I was gonna make, like the little tip ends, and I just put it in here. There's straw paper that's folded in half, and then I just clipped this little Richard Scarry page to it. Here's another little pocket with some goodies here and an envelope. There's this little envelope stuck there, okay? So you can use that somewhere else. I tucked a lot of little goodies in here that you can use in other ways. So like these pages, this is from a super old, really cute kids book. And you can see they used bookbinding to hold that particular book together. But I thought the images were really cute, so I put a few of those in here. Here's another little, this is the index card. Another little embellishment that you can use as a pocket somewhere. And then when I counted this, so I counted 70 pages, but like I counted this as one. So, really it's 4 pages. Just to let you know, I just counted the individual page like this. Here's one of the little collage pockets I made from the Three Little Pigs book. And this is just a blank tag using Bambi book pages. And then a little piece from one of the papers, little scrap from the paper. Here is a vintage wallpaper piece. I just clipped it here. Let's put a little tab here on this. Here's a little tag that I made from another children's book. And then that's feed sack fabric. Here is the cornmeal bag in here, and all I did was punch the holes in here and kind of fold this down. I didn't do anything to this. I figured I'd let you do what you wanted to. These are just so cool. You can just simply use it as a big pocket and maybe write on the back or put pictures on the back. And then this I just thought would be fun. So I don't know about you guys when you buy rotisserie chickens from the grocery store. So when I buy them from Lowe's Foods, this is sort of the whole part of the holder thing that comes on it, and it's got this chicken on it, and I think it's so funny. So I cut it down, and I just stitched around here. So this is kind of a pocket right here. So you could put a photo or something in here, cover up the Lowe's foods or whatever, you know, and put something else over here. I just thought it would be fun to include in here, and it didn't get anything on it. It was totally clean. I wouldn't dare put something in a journal that had food or chicken juice or something like that on it. It was totally clean. It was on the outside of the carton of my chicken. But I just thought it was funny. I thought it'd be cool to use. Music paper. This is from a really old folk song book from the 20s. So I just took the front and the back page of that and stitched it up and made it into a pocket. And then there's another piece of wallpaper here that's a little bit sturdier that I thought you could make an envelope. I thought about making an envelope out of it, and then I thought, well, no, I'll just tuck it in somewhere, and whoever gets the journal can use it like that. But you do need to be careful up here with these pages, because they're just old. They're not super brittle, but you can tell there's little tears, a couple little tears there. This was another little farm book, like the one with the cow. And I just took 2 pages, I folded them over, and then stitched them around to make a big pocket out of it, and tucked some of those pages from that cookbook in here. Okay, now they don't want to go in there, and they go in there super easy. See? But I thought that was cute. I thought those little pockets turned out cute. More scrapbook paper, another little tag. This is from another little book. This one's got graph paper on the back. And this little piece right here that I stapled on was part of that I cut off the cover. Okay. And then this is a newer wallpaper here that looks like the wood, and I just folded it over. So you can totally take this out and use it any way you want to. Some other book pages that I thought were cute, and this is from a really old little golden book. Another tab page. I put the little strawberry fabric on the back of this, and I believe this came in a kit from Renee a long time ago, and a little pickle bag and a vegetable page from that book. And then here's a canning chart. I just folded it up. I love the images on that side, but it's actually a chart on this side. This was the envelope that came in the mail to me, and it had like this piece of a mason jar on it. I covered up my label here, and then it had some other writing. So I just took a little scrap of the paper and then some of my fabric washi, and just kind of decorated that side of the envelope and here, and then, you know, you can use it however you want to. Another big envelope, some things tucked in there. This was out of scrapbook paper. Cookbook, another pocket. I put a little vintage envelope in there. This was the cover of An Ideal's Country. I should have left, I thought it was too big. I cut it down too small, so I wish I'd have left the Ideal Country right there, because it would have still fit, but I cut it down too small. I love the back side of that too. More scrapbook paper. More little golden book. This is one I had left over from another project. It's just a little flip out plastic sleeve, and I put 2 of the little pieces from the paper line in there. More of that recipe book that you can add something here. Like I said, lots of pockets, lots of tuck spots. Wallpaper here, so there's a pocket here, there's a pocket here, and then there's a little tuck here on this side that I added a little flash card, and this really cool little buckwheat flour little seed packet. This is not vintage, this is newer to look old, but I thought that was cute. And then here I clipped this, this came in some Happy Mail. It's a little general store card. it's a feel better card, but I just thought it, you know, was really cute in here. So the envelope's here and the card's here, and I just clipped it in. I just think that's so cute. Some Edith Holden fall pages. And then here's a little pocket with a little tag with the milk tab that I made. That was one that was in my stash that I'd made before. And I just clipped these, like I said, I just clipped these in. I'll clip it the other way. So you can move them wherever you want to. And then here's a big envelope. Okay, I just put a paper clip up here. And on this side was one of the bigger collage pieces that I did, okay? And then I tucked some pieces in here. So this is the chicken kitchen off of the chicken thing from Lowe's. And then here's just a little pocket I made out of a flyleaf page in a super old book. And another little pickle bag. I'm gonna put several of those in here. More wallpaper. These are little tuck spots. Another page from another book about ducks and chickens. And then here's where I used the chicken fabric in here. I just made a big pocket on the actual meat tab. And then here's a board. This is from a kid's big board book, but I thought it was cute with a little duckling. So you could use that as a writing spot. Another from my preserve book that I love, and I just made this into 2 pockets here. There's nothing in them right now. More recipe, little, I love that with the chickens and the cow and the pig on it. That came from the paper. Another little tag from the paper line. And I just went through and picked out, you know, pages that I really, you know, the pages that I really liked. I actually stitched these 2 together just to give it more stability. So, but then you can see some of the things on the inside as well. Another little piece of wallpaper. Another tab page. This was a sample of, this is one of the sample books, like the fabric sample books. I think that came from Chastity. And then this is like a little envelope pocket. You could glue this and use it as a pocket somewhere else. I just put you a couple little floral pages in here from a vintage floral book, and this little farmer sticker that came in a kit. A couple of those things came in a kit from somebody that I got, somebody off Etsy that I bought a year or so ago, just adding to my like farm style stuff, country stuff. And if you're interested in where that came from, let me know. I'll look it up because I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm terrible. I know I'm terrible. This is one of my little clusters that I made. I've just clipped it in. It says, "Don't forget to write." And it's a little farm boy like he's running away. You know, he's got his little sack. Anyway, and then here I put some little fibers and a star here. I didn't go doing a lot to, I didn't do a ton of embellishing because I want you to do that, you know. I want to give you a good base of fun things to have, and a few things, you know, a few things kind of done for you, tabs and tucks and pockets and stuff like that. I added some little fabric washi here too. This page is kind of thin. But I don't like overdoing it because I want it to be yours, you know, whoever buys it. Love this fabric right here. Yeah, and I put some little pieces, little vintage pieces here. Another page from that super old book that's got the book tape on it, but I love the little cow on it. And then here's that paper, which I think is super cool, with the big farm scene on it and the cows on the back. And more of the recipe. And this is from another little horse book. And then more of the scrapbook paper in the back. So that is this one, and she is chunky. And she will be she, I don't know why I'm calling her she. She'll be in the shop tomorrow at noon as well. And then I have a rather healthy pack of extra items that will come with this, because y'all, I have so much stuff, it's ridiculous. It truly is ridiculous. So there'll be some nice extras with this as well. Okay, and probably even more than what you saw for the other journals. So if anybody is interested, here they are. And I have so much fun doing these. I really did. It took me a long time. I've been working on them, like I said, for at least a month. And what I would do is, like, every day I would try to do, you know, work on something different. You know, like I started with the covers, and then I started pulling all the pages, and then I started splitting all that up, and then I started pulling fabrics, and, you know, and it just took me a while to get them all finished and all the little details that I like to do, you know, done. So I will see you again soon and share the 2 snippet rolls that I have available as well. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.